Mr. President, 16 years ago I introduced the DREAM Act. The idea behind the legislation is if you were brought here to America as a child by your parents and you're undocumented, you grew up in this country and you don't have a serious criminal record, you do have a completion of school, you deserve a chance to earn your way into legal status in America. You had nothing to say about the decision of your family to come here. You've grown up in this country. And if you want to be part of our future, you should be given a chance. It was a pretty basic idea. It's been debated for a long time. President Barack Obama stepped up and said, since we haven't passed that law, I'll create something called DACA, Deferred Consideration for Early Childhood Arrivals. And under that executive order, the people I just described can be protected from being deported for 2 years at a time. They have to go through a criminal background check, they have to pay a $500 fee, and they get a temporary ability to live in the United States without fear of being deported and to work in this country. 780,000 young people came forward and signed up and went on with their lives of going to school and getting jobs, becoming part of America. DACA-eligible people joined our military. They weren't American citizens, but they joined our military, willing to sacrifice their lives in defense of a country that doesn't legally recognize them as lawful immigrants. 900 of them did that, signed up for America's military. 20,000 of them became teachers in schools all across the United States. Most of them are students working because they can't qualify for federal assistance to go to school, and there's some amazing stories. So there they were, kind of in limbo, half here, half not here, uncertain about their future, but the protection of that executive order. President Trump came in and said, it's over. As of September 5th, he ended this DACA protection, saying prospectively, the final day for it is March 5th of 2018. 780,000. And the president then said to Congress, now do something, pass a law. Take care of these people. Well, 3 months have passed and we have done nothing. Nothing. In fact, we've done little or nothing on the floor of the Senate for the last several months, but we haven't done this, and it's still unresolved as to whether or not they're going to have a chance to be part of America's future, or young people like them have a similar chance. Unresolved. We've got to do something about that, and we have to do it soon. Because you see, every day 120 of these young people lose their protection under DACA. That's almost 1,000 a week. So far, 10,000 of them have fallen out of protection under DACA. What does it mean in practical terms? First, the fear of being deported. You're no longer protected. You're undocumented in America. You could be deported. Knock on the door, and you are gone. Do these young people know that? Of course they do. And I see them every weekend. I sit down with them. They're emotionally distraught over the possibility of their lives ending as they know it, being deported to countries they've never been to before, facing languages they don't know. Think about that possibility. You're 18 or 19 years old, and now you're being deported back to Bolivia, where you've never been. You may not speak Spanish very well, but now you're going to be tossed back into Bolivia, where you came from. And so now the question is, what will we do about this? Will Congress act or wait? Some voices on the floor of the Senate have said, well, let's try to get around to this next year. Well, you certainly can't look at the floor of the Senate today or virtually any day and say we are so swamped with work we just can't take this up. Of course we can, and we should. And I want to salute my Republican colleagues, a number of whom have stepped up and said, let's sit down and work this out once and for all. These young people deserve a chance. Let's give them that chance. Their stories are nothing short of inspiring. This is Uriana Aguilar. Uriana Aguilar was 5 years old when her family brought her here from Mexico. She grew up near Fresno, California, and quite a good student. Top 1% of her high school class, graduated as valedictorian. She was involved in a lot of activities, member of the high school's junior ROTC program, volunteered at retirement homes, and with a group called Tree Fresno, planting trees in her community. She first learned about her immigration status when she was a senior in high school. She thought she was okay. She learned she was wrong. She tried to apply for financial aid, and they said, "You're not documented. You're not legally in America." Came here at the age of 5, and she learned about it much later in life. She didn't give up. She just said, "This can't be the end of my story." She was accepted at the University of California, Merced, majored in biological science, made the dean's list every semester, and was on the chancellor's honor list. Conducted research in marine biology as well as atherosclerosis. Excuse me, Uriana, if I messed that up. I'm a liberal arts lawyer, but it looks like that. It's a question of the buildup of fat, cholesterol, and other substances in arteries. She continued her community service, volunteering for the Boys and Girls Club, for a local hospital, and with her church's Sunday school program. After she graduated, she couldn't pursue her dream of becoming a scientist because she was undocumented. But she didn't give up. She said, "This can't be it." So she volunteered at a research lab where she wasn't going to get paid, but where she was able to continue studying and learning. Then President Obama created DACA, the executive order I referred to in 2012. Because of that, she was allowed to apply to the University of Merced's PhD program in quantitative and systems biology. Her research focused on sudden cardiac death, the leading cause of natural death in the United States. Last year, Uriana became the first undocumented person at the University of Merced to receive a PhD. Listen to what the Dean of the School of Natural Sciences said. "Uriana's work is stunning. It'll have significant impact on our knowledge of the workings of the heart at the cellular level. The potential benefit of her research in cardiac care is enormous." She's now a postdoctoral fellow and instructor at Rush University Medical Center in Chicago, a city I'm honored to represent. I was just with her last week. This is a picture of her in her lab. She continues her research on heart health, thanks to DACA. But it's coming to an end. President Trump has ended the program, which allows Uriana to stay and study in the United States of America. She's not going to give up, she says. She wants to bring her medical knowledge and expertise back to the Central Valley in California, where she grew up. During her childhood, she saw how people's financial situations often determine their health care. She wants to establish a research-based hospital to make sure that the same top quality health care is available even for lower income families. She sent me a letter. She told me about the day that DACA was announced. She was in a research lab doing what she loves to do. She had a human heart in her hand, beating with an artificial valve outside the body. And when she saw the news, she cried, and I quote, "I'm finally out of the shadows." So, Mr. President, can she wait? Should she leave? That's the basic question we face. Should we do something now? Should we roll up our sleeves, Democrats and Republicans, and solve this problem? Should there be any doubt that we want Uriana to stay in the United States and continue this amazing research? Of course we do. Here we are trying to attract foreigners to come study in the United States on the mere chance that they'll turn out to be as productive as this young lady with her PhD is going to be. She made it through American schools. She beat the odds when it came to college and medical school, or college and graduate degrees, without the help of government loans. She's a pretty determined young woman. And her determination is not only going to mean that she has an opportunity for a great life, it's an opportunity to make the lives of so many of us better. This is a simple issue of justice and fairness. That's what's at the heart of it. People come to the floor and want to make this about so many other issues in the immigration system. Can I tell you, our immigration system is a mess. It's broken down. It has so many problems. I know I sat for 6 months drawing up a comprehensive immigration bill with my fellow Republican and Democratic colleagues. We passed it in the Senate. The House wouldn't even consider it. But our immigration system is broken. Please do not put on Uriana's shoulders the responsibility of fixing every part of our immigration system. Give her the chance she needs to make America a better nation. Give her the justice which she deserves through her hard work and determination. That's what this comes down to. If we make the DREAM Act the law of the land, young people like Uriana can prove that they can work their way into legal status, work their way into citizenship, and become a valuable part of America's future. Please, to my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, let's roll up our sleeves and do what we were sent to do. Solve problems, pass laws, make sure that we set the stage for America to be a better nation in years to come. Mr. President, I yield the floor.